First contact under fire. The 12 crystalline ships of the Meridian Alliance glimmered against the backdrop of infinite space, their transparent hulls refracting starlight into prismatic patterns. Captain Ilara stood on the command deck of the flagship Radiant Dawn, her iridescent skin pulsing with anxiety as she watched the long-range scanners. The pursuing Voidclaw warships were still 3 solar cycles behind them, but gaining steadily. Status report, Ilara demanded, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she surveyed her bridge crew. Science Officer Tavik approached, the data patterns scrolling across his translucent exoskeleton. Captain, we've entered an uncharted system. 9 planets orbiting a yellow star. The 3rd planet shows signs of technological civilization, but their development appears limited. No evidence of faster-than-light travel. Primitive, then, Ilara said, disappointment evident in her voice. The Meridian Alliance had been searching for new allies against the Voidclaw Dominion for over a decade. This backwater system had seemed promising from a distance. Navigation Officer Kelris spoke up, his voice resonating through the crystalline deck. Captain, our engines are critically depleted. The dimensional jump drives need at least 48 hours to recharge. Ilara's skin darkened with frustration. We don't have 48 hours. The Voidclaw will be upon us in 36. The 3rd planet has a substantial orbital infrastructure, Tavik noted. Satellites, a small space station, several defense platforms. Perhaps we could hide among them. Hide a Meridian fleet behind primitive technology. Ilara scoffed. But as she studied the scanner data more carefully, she noticed something unexpected. These energy readings, they're unusual for a pre-FTL civilization. The bridge fell silent as Ilara considered their options. The Voidclaw would show no mercy, not to the Meridians, and certainly not to any world that harbored them. Yet they had nowhere else to go. Set course for the 3rd planet, she finally ordered. Keep our approach visible. I don't want to frighten them into an accidental first strike. As the Meridian fleet approached Earth, chaos erupted across human communication channels. 12 crystalline vessels, each nearly a kilometer long, had appeared at the edge of the solar system and were moving toward Earth at incredible speed. In the underground complex of Earth Defense Force headquarters, Commander Maya Chen watched the incoming vessels with a mixture of awe and apprehension. At 42, she had spent her career preparing for this moment. First contact with an extraterrestrial civilization. But the scenario unfolding wasn't following any of the protocols she'd established. Multiple unknown vessels approaching, Commander, Lieutenant Quan reported. They're making no attempt to hide their approach. We're detecting energy signatures unlike anything in our database. Chen studied the holographic display. Are they broadcasting any communication signals? Yes, but nothing our systems can decode. It's not radio waves or any electromagnetic spectrum we recognize. Keep our defensive systems at ready status, but do not target the vessels, Chen ordered. Activate the Babel Protocol. The Babel Protocol, named after the biblical tower, was humanity's best guess at creating the universal translation system. It broadcast mathematical sequences, atomic structures, and basic symbolic logic across all conceivable communication methods. Commander, Quan said suddenly, we're detecting another group of vessels entering the solar system. They appear to be in pursuit of the first group. Chen's blood ran cold as the new ships appeared on the display. Unlike the crystalline vessels, these were dark, asymmetrical shapes that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. While the first group had approached openly, these new arrivals were spreading out in a classic attack formation. The crystal ships are accelerating toward Earth orbit, Quan reported. They're broadcasting some kind of warning signal. It's becoming more structured, adapting to our Babel protocol. Before Chen could respond, the holographic display flickered, and a face appeared, not human, but strikingly humanoid, with iridescent skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. People of Earth, the alien said, the words halting as the translation system struggled. I am Captain Ilara of the Meridian Alliance. We seek temporary sanctuary. The Voidclaw Dominion pursues us and will destroy any who assist us. We understand if you refuse." Chen didn't hesitate. "This is Commander Maya Chen of Earth Defense Force. We grant you temporary sanctuary while we discuss your situation." The relief on Ilara's alien features was unmistakable. "We are grateful. But you must understand, the Voidclaw show no mercy. If you harbor us, they will attack you as well." "We've noticed your pursuers," Chen replied. "How much time do we have?" 32 of your Earth hours before they arrive." Chen turned to her staff. "Initiate first contact protocols. Prepare for potential hostile engagement. And get me the Security Council. Immediately." The next 24 hours passed in a blur of diplomatic and military activity. The Meridian fleet took position in high Earth orbit, their crystalline ships now clearly visible from the planet's surface as shimmering points of light. Captain Ilara and a small delegation teleported to EDF headquarters for face-to-face negotiations, causing a momentary panic until the humans realized the aliens had arrived peacefully. The Meridians explained their situation. They were scientists and explorers who had discovered a way to harness what they called dimensional energy, a concept similar to what human physicists had theorized as dark energy. The Voidclaw Dominion, a militaristic empire spanning dozens of star systems, had attacked the Meridian homeworld to seize this technology. The 12 ships in Earth orbit represented the last free Meridian fleet. "Your technology is centuries beyond ours," Chen admitted as she and Ilara reviewed the tactical situation. "Yet you're losing this war." Ilara's skin pulsed with what Chen had learned was embarrassment. The Meridian Alliance evolved without natural predators. We developed technology, but not warfare. The Voidclaw are the opposite, born hunters with a cultural drive toward conquest. They adapted our scientific discoveries into weapons we never imagined. Scientists from both species worked frantically to share knowledge. The humans were astonished by Meridian technology, particularly their dimensional energy systems that could potentially solve Earth's energy crisis forever. The Meridians, meanwhile, were surprised by humans' ingenuity and adaptability, especially regarding military tactics. "Your species evolved as both prey and predator," Ilara observed to Chen. "You understand both hiding and hunting." "Necessity is the mother of invention," Chen replied. "When you're not the strongest creature in the food chain, you learn to be the smartest." 28 hours after the Meridian's arrival, the Voidclaw fleet entered Earth orbit. 17 obsidian warships, each bristling with energy weapons, took position in a blockade formation that trapped the Meridian vessels against Earth's gravity well. "They're broadcasting," Lieutenant Quan announced. The main display activated, revealing a reptilian face with vertical pupils and scaled ridges where eyebrows would be on a human. "I am War Commander Drax of the Voidclaw Dominion," the alien said, its voice a guttural rumble, even through the translation system. "Surrender the Meridian fugitives immediately, or your world will suffer their fate." Chen stepped forward. "This is Commander Chen of Earth Defense Force. The Meridians have requested sanctuary under our laws of asylum. We've granted it." Drax's laugh was like stones grinding together. "Your species is unknown to us, but your technology is primitive. Do not interfere in matters beyond your understanding. You have 6 hours to surrender the Meridians. After that, we will take them, and whatever remains of your world." The transmission ended abruptly. Chen turned to Ilara, whose skin had paled to a barely visible sheen. "I warned you," the Meridian captain said softly. "The Voidclaw show no mercy. We should leave now and draw them away from your world." But Chen was already moving toward the tactical display. "No, we've analyzed your ships and theirs. You're right that the Voidclaw have superior firepower, but they have weaknesses they don't realize." Ilara looked skeptical. "What weaknesses?" "They've destroyed 12 Meridian worlds already." "They've never faced humans before," Chen said, a glint of determination in her eyes. "And they've certainly never faced humans and Meridians working together. Tell me, Captain, How do your dimensional energy systems interface with gravity wells? For the first time since arriving, Ilara's skin brightened with something like hope. Extraordinarily well. It's why we use crystalline hulls to channel and amplify gravitational effects. Chen nodded. I thought so. And those void claw ships, they use a form of anti-gravity propulsion, correct? That's how they maintain those asymmetrical configurations in space. Yes, but... Ilara stopped as she began to understand Chen's thinking. You can't be suggesting what I think you are. It would require precision timing that your technology can't achieve. Chen smiled. Perhaps not with our current technology, but what about with yours? The next 6 hours saw frantic preparation across Earth's military installations. Meridian engineers worked alongside human technicians, retrofitting Earth's orbital defense platforms with crystalline focal lenses. Meanwhile, Chen explained her audacious plan to military leaders around the world. We're going to turn Earth's gravity into a weapon, she told them. With Meridian help, we can create a gravitational pulse that will disrupt the Void Claw ship's anti-gravity systems, but only for about 30 seconds. In that window, we hit them with everything we've got. One general scoffed. 30 seconds against technology centuries advanced. It's suicide. Perhaps, Chen admitted, but they expect us to be frightened primitives. They don't expect a trap. And they certainly don't expect us to have integrated Meridian technology so quickly. As the deadline approached, the Meridian ships repositioned themselves into what appeared to be a surrender formation. The Void Claw fleet moved closer, their weapons systems powered up, ready to capture the valuable Meridian technology, and then turn their attention to Earth. In the EDF command center, Chen looked at Ilara. Ready? The Meridian captain's 4 eyes blinked in sequence, what Chen now recognized as their equivalent of a nod. We've never had allies willing to fight with us before. Whatever happens, thank you. Chen activated the communication system. War Commander Drax, this is Earth Defense Force. We've considered your demands. The reptilian face appeared, mandibles clicking with anticipation. Your decision, human. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Humanity has a long history of giving sanctuary to those in need. We also have a long history of teaching bullies a lesson. The Meridians stay under our protection. Drax's expression contorted with rage. Then your species dies today. Actually, Chen said calmly, we had something else in mind. Now, the counterattack. At Commander Chen's signal, the 12 Meridian ships activated their dimensional energy cores simultaneously. The crystalline vessels pulsed with blinding light as they channeled Earth's natural gravitational field, amplifying and focusing it through the retrofitted defense platforms. The effect was immediate and spectacular. A visible distortion wave rippled through space around the Void Claw fleet. The black warships shuddered violently, their precise formations disintegrating as their anti-gravity systems failed. Several smaller vessels collided, their hulls crumpling against each other in a shower of debris and vented atmosphere. All Earth Defense Forces, engage, Chen ordered. From launch sites across the planet, hundreds of missiles streaked toward the disoriented Void Claw fleet. The orbital defense platforms fired electromagnetic pulse cannons, targeting the now vulnerable propulsion systems of the alien warships. On the main view screen, War Commander Drax's face contorted with shock and fury. Impossible. Your weapons cannot harm our... His transmission cut off as the first wave of missiles struck the command ship. The EMP blasts cascaded across the Void Claw fleet, shorting out systems that relied on the now-failed anti-gravity technology. It's working, Lieutenant Quan exclaimed. Their shields are down on 6 vessels. Hull breaches detected on 3 more. Ilara's skin glowed with amazement. In thousands of years of conflict, I've never seen the Void Claw taken by surprise. Your strategy is unorthodox. Guerrilla warfare, Chen explained. When you can't match your enemy's strength, you change the rules of engagement. You make them fight on your terms. But their advantage was already fading. The gravitational disruption lasted only 28 seconds, not the full 30 they had hoped for. The Voidclaw ships were beginning to stabilize, their systems adapting to the unexpected attack. "They're recovering faster than predicted," Quan reported, tension evident in his voice. "5 Voidclaw destroyers have restored partial shields. They're targeting our defense platforms." Energy beams lanced from the recovering warships, destroying 3 of Earth's orbital defenses in rapid succession. The remaining platforms continued firing, but their effectiveness was diminishing as the Voidclaw restored their protective systems. "We need more time," Chen said, turning to Ilara. "Can your ships generate another gravitational pulse?" The Meridian captain's skin darkened with concern. "Not so soon. The dimensional cores need time to recharge, especially after such a powerful discharge." On the tactical display, the situation was deteriorating rapidly. The Voidclaw fleet had reorganized into an offensive formation and was launching fighters, small, agile craft that slipped through Earth's defensive perimeter. "Multiple atmospheric breaches," Quan announced. "Voidclaw fighters entering Earth airspace over Asia, Europe, and North America." Chen's mind raced. Their initial attack had damaged the Voidclaw fleet but not defeated it. Now Earth faced fighters designed for atmospheric combat, an area where human military forces might actually have the advantage. "All air defense systems to immediate readiness," she ordered. "Scramble every fighter jet we have. The Voidclaw may have advanced technology, but their pilots have never flown in atmosphere against humans who've been perfecting aerial combat for over a century." As air battles erupted across the globe, Chen noticed something unexpected on the tactical display. The Voidclaw command ship was moving away from Earth, repositioning to a higher orbit. "They're preparing for something," she murmured. "Lieutenant, analysis of the command ship's energy readings." Quan studied his console. Massive power buildup. "It appears to be charging some kind of main weapon. Target trajectory suggests. Oh no. They're aiming at the polar ice caps. They're going to trigger catastrophic flooding." Ilara realized, her voice filled with horror. "It's a classic Voidclaw tactic. If they can't defeat a planet's defenses quickly, they make the planet uninhabitable." Chen felt a cold knot form in her stomach. Earth's military forces were fully engaged with the Voidclaw fighters. The orbital defenses that might have countered the command ship's weapon were either destroyed or out of position. "How long until they can fire?" she asked. "Approximately 3 minutes," Quan replied. Ilara stepped forward, her crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the emergency lights of the command center. "Commander, I have a proposal. It's dangerous, possibly suicidal, but it might save your world." "I'm listening." "My flagship, the Radiant Dawn, has an experimental device, a dimensional inverter. In theory, it could create a localized pocket of inverted space that would cause the Voidclaw weapon to fire back on itself." "In theory?" Chen questioned. "We've never tested it in combat," Ilara admitted. "And to deploy it, we would need to position directly between the command ship and their target. At this range, the backlash would likely destroy my ship as well." Before Chen could respond, a new voice joined the conversation. "What if you didn't have to get that close?" Dr. Victor Raman, head of Earth's Quantum Physics Division, had been working quietly with the Meridian scientists. Now he stepped forward, his expression intense. "The Meridian's dimensional technology operates on principles similar to our quantum entanglement experiments," he explained. "We've been developing a displacement system that theoretically allows matter to exist in 2 places simultaneously. If we could integrate it with the dimensional inverter." Ilara's 4 eyes widened. "That's actually possible. With quantum entanglement as a bridge, we could project the inverter's effect without physically positioning our ship in the line of fire." "How quickly can you make this work?" Chen asked, aware of the countdown ticking away. "With both our teams, perhaps 15 minutes, Raman said. "We have 3. The physicist smiled grimly. "Then we'll have to be exceptionally brilliant and lucky." What followed was the most intense collaboration in human history. Meridian engineers and Earth scientists, neither fully understanding the other's technology, worked at breakneck speed to integrate two experimental systems. Communication barriers fell away in the face of imminent destruction, replaced by a shared language of mathematics and physics. 2 minutes and 40 seconds later, they had a prototype, a jury-rigged assembly of crystalline components and quantum circuitry that Dr. Raman affectionately called the miracle machine. "It's ready," he announced, "but untested. And we'll have one shot. The power requirements will burn out both systems after a single use." Chen looked to Ilara, who nodded. "My ship is in position. 30 seconds to Void Claw weapon discharge," Quan reported. Chen took a deep breath. "Activate the system." Aboard the Radiant Dawn, Meridian technicians initiated the dimensional inverter. On Earth, Raman's team activated the quantum displacement field. The two technologies, one developed by a peaceful race of explorers, the other by a young species still finding their place in the universe, linked across space. A shimmering field of energy appeared directly in the path of the Void Claw command ship's weapon. To human eyes, it looked like a rippling mirror floating in space. To the Meridian's perception, it was a beautiful folding of dimensional fabric, the physical manifestation of two civilizations' combined ingenuity. "Void Claw weapon firing," Quan shouted. A massive beam of concentrated energy erupted from the command ship, striking the quantum dimensional field head-on. For a terrifying moment, nothing happened. Then, as if reflected by some cosmic mirror, the beam reversed course. The Void Claw weapon's energy, designed to melt polar ice caps and trigger global flooding, channeled back into its source. The command ship's forward section crumpled, then exploded in a spectacular burst that engulfed 3 nearby destroyers. "Direct hit," Quan announced, disbelief and elation mingling in his voice. On the main view screen, the remaining Void Claw vessels were thrown into disarray. Without the command ship coordinating their attack, the fighters in Earth's atmosphere began retreating, pursued by human jets. "The Void Claw fleet is withdrawing," Quan reported, multiple ships jumping to faster-than-light speed. Chen turned to Ilara, whose skin was pulsing with a pattern Chen had never seen before. What she would later learn was the Meridian expression of jubilation. "We did it," the alien captain said simply. "In all our encounters with the Void Claw, this is the first true victory." In the aftermath, as damage reports came in from around the world, Chen found herself standing with Ilara on the observation deck of the EDF headquarters. Through the reinforced windows, they could see the Radiant Dawn hovering above the city, its crystalline hull reflecting sunlight in dazzling patterns. "Your world suffered damage," Ilara said somberly. "For that, I am deeply sorry." Chen nodded. "We lost good people today. But we protected our home and gained allies among the stars. I'd call that a victory worth the cost." "The Void Claw will return," Ilara warned. "They never abandon a hunt once begun." "Then we'll be ready," Chen replied. "And next time, we won't be improvising our defenses." The Meridian captain's skin brightened. "My alliance would formally offer Earth membership and protection. But the truth is, after today's battle, I'm not certain who would be protecting whom." Chen smiled. "Perhaps that's the point. Different species, different strengths. Together, we're stronger than either would be alone." As they looked out at the Meridian ships shimmering against Earth's blue sky, a new chapter in human history was beginning. Humanity had faced its first interstellar conflict and emerged not merely surviving, but triumphant. The stars, once distant and unreachable, now represented possibility and partnership. And somewhere out in the darkness, the remaining Void Claw ships carried an unexpected message back to their empire. The hunt had found new prey that bit back.